And now another exciting episode of Dan versus Fish on Fishin Affliction TV.
Well, folks, it's that time of the year where the weather's starting to change. Cool in the mornings, cool in the evening times, and sometimes you have a day like today where the temperature never got over about 82 degrees. What a beautiful time of the year as we start going from summertime into fall. And you know, not only is the weather changing, but the fish's location is starting to change too. You know, just here in the last couple weeks, they were pretty good out there on what is referred to as the drops, the river channels, that deep water stuff. And as you know, the big dog caught them well enough to win 2 tournaments here on Old Hickory Lake, fishing those drops. But the location of the fish start to change too. And what's happening is that the bait fish are starting to get in the back of these coves. You know, the bigger bait fish are eating the littler bait fish, and those little bait fish can be found along all that grass that you see in the back of these coves. Not only does the grass offer protection and shelter, it also offers a food supply. You know, there's plankton, there's phytoplankton, insects, all kinds of things that the little fish eat that the bigger fish come to eat them. And with that said, knowing that that was probably going on today and the transition is starting to happen, I picked up my 4.5-inch Strike King flipping tube on my US reel, my hidden US reel, and throwing my 20-pound Tatsu line, and let me show you a couple wonderful fish that I caught. How about these for a couple Old Hickory largemouths? This one here is over 5, this one here is just about 4. A couple dandies caught on the Strike King 4.5-inch flipping tube. And I'm going to turn these fish loose real quick, but just take a look. Man, I tell you, they are just dandy fish, aren't they? Let me get them in the water. We're going to release them. Oh, there's 1 and 2. What a blessing it is to be able to catch something like that and to be able to put them back to be caught some other time. But you know, as fall is approaching, the fish's locations are going to change, and you got to change your fishing habits. You got to change to suit where the fish are at. And I'll tell you what, go pick you up some Strike King soft plastics. And this great thing about the flipping tube is that it mimics a dying bait fish extremely well. Now, I don't fish it with a very heavy weight. And what happens a lot of times is it splashes the water just like you hear the shad splashing all the time, and it attracts the fish's attention. They're stimulated to that splash. And today, it worked well enough for those 2. And I've also had another one about 2 pounds, and I've had 2 other keepers, and I've only been out for about, I don't know, about 2.5 hours. What a beautiful, beautiful, fun day, beautiful bass. And, you know, they always win, don't they? Look, they get to go home. And before I leave, I want to show you something even more beautiful. Now that's worth coming out for, isn't it? That's why I have Fishin Affliction right there, the beauty that God creates. Thanks so much for joining us here on Dan versus Fish. Now let's get back to Fishin Affliction.